Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of sources, articles, research papers, expert notes, and we really dig in. We pull out the key knowledge nuggets, basically giving you a shortcut to being, well, properly informed. Today, we're tackling something really fascinating about the natural world. A bit of the paradox, actually. We've all seen nature's beauty, right? Stunning landscapes, amazing wildlife. It can be breathtaking. But underneath all that beauty, there's a flip side, a dangerous side. Sometimes terrifying, even, where survival comes down to some pretty intense adaptations. So, our mission today, we want to cut through the usual ideas, the common perceptions, and give you the real insights. Some surprising facts about Earth's deadliest creatures. We're going on a bit of a journey. We'll look at what makes them dangerous, sure, but also why they evolved like that, and maybe how understanding their strategies tells us more about the wild. Think silent venomous types, huge powerful giants, even tiny things that swarm. Get ready for some real aha moments. Might change how you see these animals.
Yeah, and that's exactly why looking into this is so worthwhile, I think. It's not just about the shock factor or being scared. It's about getting to a place of respect, understanding. When you examine their unique tricks, their behaviors, their amazing defenses, it really broadens your view of nature, doesn't it? It makes you think more critically about what danger actually means and just appreciate the sheer variety of life out there. So knowledge here isn't just, power. It's about deeper appreciation. And yeah, sometimes knowing this stuff could even keep you safe.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's jump right in with what you have to start with the kings of venom, don't you? Snakes. These creatures are legendary, feared pretty much everywhere, and for good reason, as our sources show. First up, the inland taipan. Yeah, the inland taipan, often called the fierce snake, and it holds the title, apparently unequivocally, of the most venomous snake in the whole world. That alone sounds bad enough.
Oh, it's more than just bad. It's an incredible evolutionary feat. Think about this, just one bite. One bite carries enough venom, and it's a specific neurotoxin that targets the nervous system, enough to kill over 100 adult humans. It's hard to even wrap your head around that level of lethal power in one go.
Wow, 100 humans. But what really jumped out at me from the material was the contradiction. Despite being that deadly, the sources describe it as extremely shy. Rarely seen even. So what's the deal with that? Why have such overkill venom if you actively avoid trouble?
That's a great question, and it points to a really specific strategy, evolutionarily speaking. If an animal is that shy, that reclusive, its venom probably isn't for everyday fights. It suggests that when it does feel threatened, it needs something absolute, a definitive stop right there. Maybe it evolved to take down big predators instantly, to make sure any interaction is just too costly for the attacker. So yeah, it's not about aggression, it's pure ultimate defense when it feels cornered. Which makes that advice from the source pretty chilling, doesn't it? Pray it's in a zoo, not in the wild.
Definitely chilling. Okay, so from the shy killer, let's shift to a real icon, the king cobra. The taipan's danger is kind of hidden, but the king cobra, it commands fear just by its presence, doesn't it? Not just the venom. What makes it so legendary?
Well, its size, for one. And its intelligence, actually. And the king cobra isn't just long, it is the longest venomous snake. Can reach, 18 feet? Picture this. It can lift a full third of its body off the ground, straight up, high enough to look a grown man right in the eye. That's not just for show. It's a clear warning signal.
And that neurotoxin, the stuff that messes with the nervous system, it's potent enough that one bite could kill an elephant in the wild. That's just incredible power. But you mentioned intelligence. The sources hinted at that too. How does that actually play out? Does it strategize, learn?
Oh, absolutely. King cobras are known for being remarkably intelligent. For snakes, it's not just pure instinct. They seem capable of assessing threats. They often try to avoid a fight if they can, but if they're cornered, they act with, calculated aggression. And they hunt other snakes, even venomous ones like kraits. That suggests a certain cunning, a strategic approach to predation. That level of awareness, it makes them even more formidable. You can see why even the pros, the snake catchers, treat them with, as the source says, ultimate respect.
Right. Ultimate respect. Okay, so we've had the most venomous, the longest venomous.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the fastest. The king cobra's power is one thing, but the black mamba, that adds a whole different layer of urgency to the word deadly.
It really does. The black mamba from Africa is this terrifying double threat. It's highly venomous, yes, but it's also the world's fastest snake. We're talking speeds up to maybe 12 miles per hour. And it doesn't just strike once, it can hit multiple times very quickly, injecting this fast-acting neurotoxin. It shuts down the nervous system so rapidly, death can come in under 30 minutes.
Under 30 minutes. And that nickname locals gave it, the kiss of death. That says it all, really. So what stands out to you about that combination? The speed, the aggression, the fast venom. Why is that mix so particularly feared?
Well, the speed isn't just about chasing things down. It's also about delivering those multiple strikes so quickly. Bang, bang, bang. That increases the venom dose and speeds up its effect. Most snakes try to conserve their venom. It's costly to make. But the mamba seems built to just overwhelm a threat. Speed and quantity. That efficiency in both attack and effect, that's why it has such a fearsome reputation. It's like a masterclass in deadly urgency.
Deadly urgency. Okay, so we've covered some ground with the snakes, but let's switch gears. Let's talk about creatures that give millions of people the creeps, often with more legs, spiders. And our sources point us straight to the Sydney funnel web spider. This one's considered the most venomous spider to humans. That title definitely grabs your attention.
It does. And its physical abilities are, frankly, alarming. Those fangs. They're sharp and strong enough to bite right through a fingernail. Or soft shoes. And the venom, once it's in, it hits the nervous system fast, really fast, causes severe symptoms, often leading to respiratory failure. And the key thing here, historically, before they developed an effective antivenom, a bite was almost always fatal. It really shows you how much difference medical science can make, that its threat is now manageable if you get treatment quickly.
That history is crucial, isn't it? It really drives home the danger before we had the antivenom. But the sources suggest there's another spider, maybe even more notorious, the Brazilian wandering spider. Apparently it sometimes hides in bananas. Earned the nickname the armed spider, which sounds unsettling.
Yeah, and this isn't just some urban legend. It highlights something important: how our activities intercept with wildlife. This spider is known for being extremely aggressive if disturbed, and its venom, potent, can cause paralysis, severe pain, even death in some cases. The fact that it turns up in fruit shipments, especially bananas, means it can travel far from its home, right into places where people live and work.
That's the really chilling part for me. Imagine, like the source says, reaching for fruit at the supermarket and finding one of those. Ugh. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How, global trade and just bus spreading out brings us face to face with species we never normally meet. What are the implications there?
Well, it definitely raises important questions about how we manage global supply chains, for one, and just our footprint on the planet. These spiders end up in completely new environments, or homes, markets, creates totally unexpected encounters. For public health, yeah, emergency services need to be aware, but environmentally, it also makes you think about the impact of accidentally moving species around, even just one or two. It forces us to realize our actions have these ripple effects, sometimes showing up as an armed spider where you least expect it.
Right. Unexpected encounters.
Sure.
Okay, we've covered land terrors, snakes, spiders. Now let's dive deep, literally, beneath the waves. A whole different world down there. And it has its own silent killers. Creatures that move with this unseen threat, sometimes beautiful, but deadly. First up, the box jellyfish. The sources call it one of the most venomous creatures in the entire ocean.
What's really striking about the box jellyfish is its stealth combined with its power. It's almost invisible in the water, like a ghost. Beachgoers, swimmers, you might never see it coming. But its tentacles, they deliver venom so potent it can actually stop a human heart. In just a few minutes, the reaction is immediate, critical, intense pain, shock, system failure, very, very quickly.
Wow. And the real-world effect of that. You mentioned beaches. In parts of Australia, they actually close beaches during jellyfish season, specifically because of this thing, this deadly ghost. That's serious. Okay, next, the blue-ringed octopus. Now, this one sounds different. Tiny, beautiful, apparently. Glows with these bright blue rings if it feels threatened, like a warning signal. But the sources warn, don't be fooled by the pretty lights.
Absolutely not. It's tiny, yeah, maybe golf ball sized, but its venom is incredibly lethal. It contains tetrodotoxin, that's the same toxin found in pufferfish. And it's powerful enough, they estimate, to kill something like 26 adult humans. And here's the kicker. There's no known antidote. None. That contrast. Tiny size, beautiful warning colors, but immense untreatable power. It's just astonishing. It's a perfect example of nature packing a massive punch in a small package, relying on that potent defense if the warning isn't heeded.
Yeah, that stark contrast is terrifying. All that power, no bigger than a golf ball. Okay, finally in the water, the stonefish. This one sounds like a master disguise.
It really is. It's camouflaged perfectly, blends right in with rocks and coral on the ocean floor. It looks completely inert, like part of the scenery, until you accidentally step on it. Then its dorsal spines inject this venom. The pain is described as excruciating, so intense that victims often go into shock almost immediately. And without quick medical help, the combination of pain, swelling, tissue damage, yeah, it can definitely be fatal.
So the danger there is that unexpected contact, right? A hidden threat, just lying in wait. So thinking about the bigger picture, how does its defense mechanism compare to, say, the snakes we talked about? Is it different?
That's a really good point. Many of the snakes, like the king cobra or mamba, use venom actively for hunting and defense. The stonefish, though, its venom seems to be almost purely defensive. It's passive. It's not hunting you with it. It's just an incredibly powerful deterrent against anything that might crush or eat it. Making itself an agonizing thing to step on is its survival strategy. It just shows the different evolutionary routes, doesn't it? Even among venomous creatures, there are different ways to be dangerous.
Different ways to be dangerous.
Okay.
Let's shift gears again, because, as our sources point out, not all deadly creatures fit the small, venomous mold. Now, we're talking about animals that are massive, powerful, sometimes surprisingly aggressive, things that might challenge your perceptions. Let's start with the hippopotamus. You see them in cartoons, looking kind of chubby, maybe even a bit goofy, but the reality, hippos are considered Africa's most dangerous large animal.
That's absolutely right. And it completely flies in the face of that cuddly image, doesn't it? The statistic is stark. Hippos are responsible for more human deaths in Africa each year than lions, leopards, and crocodiles combined. Their power is immense. Those jaws can open incredibly wide, almost 180 degrees, and they can crush a small boat like a canoe in seconds. Plus, they're fiercely territorial, especially females with calves, and just incredibly aggressive if they feel threatened. They'll charge often without much warning.
That's just, it's so surprising. It really shatters that docile image. It shows how misleading appearances can be. And that number of deaths, it suggests more than just size, right? Is it extreme territoriality? Are they reacting to us being in their space? Or is it a mix?
It's definitely a complex mix. That hyper-territorial nature is a huge factor, especially where human paths cross theirs, like near water or when they come ashore at night to graze. Habitat loss certainly increases those encounters, but it's also their raw speed and power. People forget, despite their bulk, they can outrun a human on land for short bursts, and their unpredictability. They tend to charge with very little warning, making them incredibly hard to avoid if you accidentally disturb one.
Okay. Then there's the Cape buffalo, nicknamed the Black Death, another big animal that hunters apparently fear deeply, and for good reason, it seems.
Oh, yes. The Cape buffalo is truly formidable. Massive horns, incredible strength, and this notoriously unpredictable, often aggressive temper. Unlike animals that might run away, Cape buffalo are known for standing their ground, and worse, for actively pursuing threats. There are many accounts of them circling back, even ambushing experienced hunters who are tracking them, makes them exceptionally dangerous.
That nickname, the Black Death, it sounds so fitting given that unpredictability and power. How does its temperament play into that reputation? It sounds like more than just being big. It sounds mean.
Well, it's that combination of size, incredible toughness, and this almost legendary cunning or memory. They're very difficult to bring down, and they have this reputation for holding a grudge. If one is wounded, it's been known to deliberately wait for its attacker, setting up an ambush. It's that blend of raw defense and what feels like calculated malice that really builds their fearsome reputation.
Wow. Okay. And then, believe it or not, even insects can be deadly on a mass scale, often overlooked maybe. Our sources bring up Africanized killer bees.
Right, the Africanized honeybee, sometimes called killer bees or murder bees in the media. Their danger isn't in individual potency, but in their collective behavior. Compared to European honeybees, they're far more defensive, much more sensitive to disturbances near their hive. And when they attack en masse, in swarms. They'll chase perceived threats relentlessly, sometimes for long distances, maybe a quarter mile or more, stinging repeatedly, thousands of stings, enough to overwhelm and potentially kill even healthy adults or large animals.
It's a completely different kind of deadly, isn't it? Not like the taipan's single super potent bite. It's the sheer overwhelming force of numbers. Collective power. What really stands out to you here, thinking about all these different creatures, this incredible diversity of danger from one bite to brute force to a massive swarm.
What stands out is just nature's sheer ingenuity, I suppose. The incredible variety of strategies for survival and defense. You go from a highly concentrated neurotoxin designed for one decisive strike, to the raw physical power of a hippo or buffalo, to the overwhelming, relentless attack of thousands of tiny individuals working together. It really shows that power or danger doesn't just come in one form. It's not always the biggest animal or the strongest venom. Sometimes it's the collective will of a tiny, numerous army. It just showcases nature's incredibly varied and sometimes terrifying toolkit for being formidable.
And that brings our deep dive for today towards its close. We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? Journeyed through nature's, well, beautiful and terrifying side. From those incredibly venomous snakes and spiders, to the almost invisible killers in the ocean, and then these giant, powerful animals, and even swarming insects that completely defy expectations. It really hammers home that idea, doesn't it? That danger can lurk in really unexpected places, sometimes hidden right in front of us, or inside something we thought was harmless.
Absolutely. And if we try to connect this to the bigger picture, learning about these creatures, it shouldn't just be about fear. It's really about building a deeper respect, I think. Respect for how complex, how dangerous, and often how hidden the forces of nature can be. Understanding their adaptations, their behaviors, even the really deadly ones, it just enriches our whole appreciation for life's incredible web. And ultimately, as the sources kind of hinted at, that knowledge, that awareness, it really can make a difference. Sometimes the difference between life and death.
So what does all this mean for you listening? Maybe next time you see something truly beautiful in nature, will you also pause and consider the hidden power it might hold? Or maybe look for the unexpected danger, the kind that isn't always obvious at first glance. We really encourage you to keep exploring, stay curious about the incredible and sometimes dangerous world all around us. Until next time on The Deep Dive, stay curious and stay informed.